I grew up with my father. My mother left us when I was very young, and I don't remember her face. My father never talked about her, and when I asked, he just said she was gone, and that was it. We lived in a small house by the river. It was quiet, and we didn't have many guests. My father worked hard. He fixed cars in a small shop. He got home late and tired. He ate his dinner alone and went to bed early. I spent most of my time by myself. I read books and walked by the river. I liked how slow and calm the water moved. I didn't talk to many people at school because I didn't trust them. Other boys and I played together. They laughed and told stories. I sat alone in the corner, did my work, and left when the bell rang. Some boys tried to be my friend, but I pushed them away because I didn't believe in love or friendship. My dad always told me to let people go and not expect them to stay. I believed what he said. The girls were the same. They smiled and talked to me, but I didn't answer. They asked me questions, but I left. I saw them laughing with other girls. I saw how they switched friends every day. One day they liked one person. The next day they liked someone else. I didn't believe they were real. As I didn't want to waste time, I paid attention to school. I didn't think what they said meant anything. Work was what I did. There was no need for anyone. I was fine by myself. Years went by and I finished school. Every day I worked with my dad in his shop. I got up early, I worked all day, I had dinner with my dad, and we talked for a short time before I went to bed. The next day I did the same thing. Life was simple and quiet. I wasn't sad or happy, but I didn't feel like I needed anything else either. Then one day, everything changed. It was a normal day. I got up early, ate breakfast, and went to the shop. My dad was already there working on a car, but he never said much. I got my tools out and started working. The shop smelled like oil and metal, and engines and hammers could be heard everywhere. This was my life. This was what I knew. Then a girl walked in. She looked around, then stepped closer, saying her car was having trouble. I didn't look at her face. I didn't care. I washed my hands and asked what was wrong. I didn't pay much attention because I just wanted to fix the car and get back to work. She thanked me, but I didn't say anything back. I thought she would leave, but she didn't. She just stood there and looked around. "Do you like working here?" she asked. I didn't answer because I didn't like small talk. She smiled and said, "You are very quiet." I didn't say anything back. She laughed a little, but it wasn't loud like other people. It didn't bother me. I was done fixing the car and gave her the keys. She thanked me again and left. I thought that was the end of it, but the next day she came back without a car problem. She just stood at the door and looked at the shop. While I was ignoring her, she came up to me and asked, "Can I watch?" "Watch what?" I asked. "You," she said. I shook my head. She didn't leave, she just smiled and said, "Okay, I'll wait outside." It took me a few days to figure out why she was here and what she wanted. She kept coming back, sometimes asking questions and sometimes just sitting outside and watching. My dad told me she was different. But I didn't answer because I didn't want to talk about her or think about her. But one night I saw her by the river, sitting on a rock and looking at the water. I walked by her, but she smiled and asked, "Do you like the river?" I stopped because no one had ever asked me that before. I slowly nodded, thinking it was strange. I told myself she was like the others and would leave, but she didn't, and that made me afraid. Days went by and she kept coming every morning. Sometimes she had a question and other times she just watched. My dad got used to her and he even smiled when she came in, but I didn't understand her. She wasn't like the others. She didn't talk too much or ask too many questions. She just stayed. I don't know why she brought coffee one afternoon and put it on the table next to me. She said, I looked at it, but I didn't take it. I don't drink coffee. I told her I'll bring tea next time, and she smiled. I frowned, and she shrugged. Because you work hard. I didn't answer. I put down my tools and kept working, but I saw my dad take a sip of coffee and smile at her. He liked her. I wasn't sure why she started coming in the evenings either. Sometimes she sat by the river, and other times she walked by the shop. She didn't ask me anything or expect anything. She was just there. I thought she would get bored and stop coming, but she didn't. One evening, I found her sitting on an old bench by the river as the sun went down. The water looked golden. Even though I was tired, I walked over to her and asked, "Why do you come here every day?" I asked, and she smiled and looked at me. Her answer, "You don't even know me," didn't make sense. I told her, "Maybe I do," and she tilted her head. "No, you don't," I replied. She was quiet for a moment, and then she said, "Maybe you think people always leave, but I'm still here." Her words made my chest feel heavy, and I didn't know why. I just sat next to her until it got dark, and we stayed there in silence. The next day, she brought me tea and put it next to me like she did the first time. For a long time, I just looked at it. When I picked it up for the first time, it felt warm. It was different, so I took a small sip. She smiled, but she didn't say anything because she didn't need to. She became a part of my days. I didn't expect it, but I noticed when she wasn't there every morning. She came to the shop every evening. She sat by the river and talked sometimes, but not too much. She never asked me questions I didn't want to answer. She never forced me to talk. She was just there, and I let her be. One day, she came later than usual. I was fixing a car, but I looked at the door and she wasn't there. I told myself it didn't matter. More hard, I tried to ignore the feeling in my chest, but she didn't show up for hours. I told myself she was just busy. Maybe she found something better to do. Maybe she was tired of coming here and finally left. But then she showed up in the evening. She walked into the shop more slowly than usual, and she said, "Sorry, I had something to do." I didn't ask what it was. I just nodded and kept working, but my hands were shaking a little. She looked at me for a while and then put something on the table. "Here's a small box for you," she said. I didn't understand why she smiled. I opened it later, and she left that night. I laid down on my bed and looked at the box. It was small and easy to understand. I thought about opening it for a moment before I did. Inside was a simple keychain with a small silver key on a black string. It was simple, just like me and my life. I didn't know why she gave it to me, but I held it for a long time and then put it in my pocket. The next day, she came back and acted like nothing had happened. I wanted to ask her about the keychain, but didn't know how, so I just worked. She watched, like always, but something was different this time. One night she asked, "Do you ever think about leaving this town?" I didn't understand what she meant when she shrugged and asked, "Do you ever want to see other places?" I shook my head and said, "This is my home." She smiled and said, "Home is not always a place." I didn't know what she meant, but I didn't ask. The days turned into weeks, and she kept coming, and something inside me kept changing. I didn't push her away when she talked, and I listened when she brought tea. When she sat by the river, I did too. Then one day my dad said something that surprised me. "She cares about you." I frowned and said, "She's just friendly." He shook his head and said, "No, it's more than that." I didn't answer. I didn't want to think about it, but I did that night when I saw her by the river. I walked faster, and she smiled when she saw me. I sat down next to her, and we watched the water. Then, without thinking, I took the keychain out of my pocket and held it. I don't know why, but it felt important. She smiled when she saw it in my hand. "You kept it." It was getting dark. The sky was orange and pink, and the air was cool. When I looked at her and asked, "Why do you stay?" she didn't seem surprised. She just smiled and said, "Because I want to." That was the first time I believed her. She was still there every day. She went to the shop every evening, she sat by the river every day, and every time I felt something different. At first it was just a thought or a feeling, but it grew. I began to wait for her. When she talked, I paid more attention and looked for her before she got here. It was weird. What did it mean? I wasn't sure, and I was afraid to ask myself. One day it rained. The shop was empty and my dad left early for home. I was by myself and heard the rain hit the roof. I told myself she wouldn't come today because no one walks around in the rain. But then I saw her. She was standing at the door, smiling and wet from the rain. "You're still here?" I asked her. "You're wet," she laughed. "Yes, I know." I sighed and went inside to get a towel. She took it, dried her face, and sat down next to me. Her silence was broken for a while as she listened to the rain. Then she spoke. "Do you ever feel lonely?" This question caught me off guard. At first I didn't answer because I hadn't thought about it. Was I lonely? "No," I told her finally. "I don't need people." She looked at me with soft eyes and said, "Let me stay." I started to disagree, but I stopped because she was right. I never told her to go. I never pushed her away because she was different. I don't know why it kept raining. The sky was gray, the shop was cold, but it felt warm with her there. I didn't know what to say, so I didn't. It was the first time that quiet didn't feel empty. It felt full of something. I didn't know how the days went by, but I started to notice little things. I noticed that she laughed softly when she was nervous and looked up at the sky when she was thinking. I also noticed that she always sat by the river in the same spot, as if it belonged to her. These little things kept coming back to me, even when I tried to ignore them. One night she was quiet and sat by the river looking at the water. I sat next to her and asked, "What's wrong?" I asked, and she just sighed and looked like she was thinking. I waited, but she didn't say anything else, so I sat there and watched the sky change colors. The air was cool and the wind was soft, and it felt peaceful, but there was something off about it. Then she turned to me. The question, "Will you miss me if I leave one day?" came at me like a wave. I looked at her. I meant to say no or "I don't care," but the words wouldn't come out. I did not know what to say, so I didn't say anything. She smiled, but this time it was sad. "It's okay," she said softly. "I already know the answer." That night I couldn't sleep because of what she said. I tried to forget about them, but they would not leave my mind. I rolled over in bed and looked up at the ceiling. That was the first time I asked myself a question. When she didn't show up that morning, I told myself it was nothing. Maybe she was busy. Maybe she'd come later. But the hours went by and she still hadn't shown up. The shop was quiet, even though engines and tools were running, and the river was empty, even though the wind was moving the water. Something was missing, but I didn't want to name it. The next day, she was still gone, and I waited, but she didn't come. I told myself I didn't care. It was colder and grayer than usual when I went to the river that evening. Her bench seat was empty, and I sat there waiting for no one. The water moved slowly, and the wind whispered through the trees, but nothing felt the same. Then I saw a small note on the bench. It felt heavy in my hands as I picked it up, and the paper looked like it had been left quickly. Reading the words made my heart beat faster. I had to leave, but I was right. You will miss me. I read it over and over. My hands were shaking and my chest hurt. I wanted to ignore it. She was right. I did miss her. I wanted to act like it didn't matter, but I couldn't. I missed hearing her words and being with her in silence. I also missed how she always sat in the same spot by the river. I missed how she looked at me as if she knew something I didn't. That night, I sat by myself with the keychain she gave me and felt its weight. She was gone, but she was still in my thoughts and in my heart. I had spent years keeping people away because I thought I didn't need anyone. But now I knew the truth. My heart wasn't closed. It had opened without me realizing it, and I didn't know how to close it again.